I'm outside having a lot of fun playing with my flowers right now. This weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving and frost is coming. There's not many days left, so I'm gonna try to push as many flower sales as possible. So because of that, I'm doing up some arrangements. I'm doing some $10, $20 arrangements for people to have for their Thanksgiving holiday table. And what I'm doing here is a little bit different than the market bouquets because this is something pre-arranged. It's in a jar. People take it. It looks like that. So I'm gonna walk you through what I'm working on, and we'll have some fun to see how these turn out.
These aren't bouquets, these are arrangements.
Look at this little sausage roll. So I have a theme. You know, it's Thanksgiving. When I was out there, because I was picking just some stuff to come and to see what I can do with it, but my theme was I wanted something that kind of represented the harvest. So I actually ended up picking a lot of vegetables. I got a bunch of these tomatoes, which Ian hates, and I found something Ian hates even more than the tomatoes. I picked kale to use as a filler. So I have a couple different kales. I have a green kale, and then I have this beautiful, beautiful dark kale, which I'm so excited about. Yeah, people ask me about this all the time, and I don't think I've mentioned this in a video, but this filler, I've been using it absolutely all season, this like green, this lime green. This is actually parsley. My parsley went to seed way early. It wasn't supposed to, but it wasn't a complete loss because I've been loving this as a filler. You know, it has the appeal of Queen Anne's lace, but in my favorite color, green. So I love it. This is, I really want parsley to always go to seed so I can always have this because it's been amazing, but it's also food. So it's on theme. And then I found some of these darker weeds. I wanted some, you know, I wanted some of these richer colors. And I didn't, you know, I love the bright rainbow colors. Like the bright rainbow colors is the theme that my entire flower farm is planted on, but I wanted to go for a more muted, more dramatic palette. So I ended up picking a bunch of these orange lime queen zinnias. They're a little bit smaller. And then I have the sunflowers, you know, so classic fall, and then I have amaranths, and then finally to add a little bit of classic delicateness to them, I picked a bunch of these white double click cosmos, and so this will kind of, you know, take it away from being too eclectic back into the classic. I think it's gonna work out. Ian's being a non-believer behind the camera. He's judging me, but I know you guys aren't. I know you also have the vision like I do. I'm using mason jars as my vases, and I have two different sizes. I have some bigger ones, and then I also have some smaller ones. And because I'm trying to make something a little bit more formal, more to it than just the bunches that I normally make for market. So when I make the bunches for market, what I do is I kind of, you know, I grab my center and then I kind of build around it so that, you know, the finished bouquet is just, you keep placing them on the outside. But when I go to do arrangements, it's a totally different process. The very first thing I do with arrangements is I kind of build a base. And so that's what I've kind of done here already. So, you know, on this one, like you can already see the shape. You know, I've angled the pieces out. I have the height that I want in here. So this is the base. You know, I'm kind of, what I was building on this one was a fan. You know, I want it flat on the sides. I'm thinking Thanksgiving tables. So, you know, like this is when you have the long skinny table, that's what this one is. And so I have the fan. The nice thing about building a base with all this filler, you know, I've used lots of these marigolds, which are really fluffy. This makes it so when I come and I stick my focals in, it's gonna hold it really well. And then, you know, how I build the base determines what the final bouquet is gonna look like. So this one I was thinking I want it more, 360. So I have, there's still some fan stuff, but I have stuff coming out from the sides. I have stuff on the bottom. We're gonna add more bottom stuff. We're not done. These are gonna be, I'm really excited about these. Okay, and then I have a mini version, kind of, this is like, you don't want to spend 20 bucks. I'm gonna make a mini version for $10. So that's what I got going on with this. Instead of having 5 of the parsleys, I only have 3. I only have 1. I have less going on. So this is gonna be mini of that one. And then I got some marigolds and kale going here. And then we got mini kale. So we built the base. At this point, I'm gonna start finishing them. But to build this base, basically I just, I'm just sticking stuff in, and I'll start with the bulkiest thing. So like on these, I started with the marigolds because they hold the structure of the entire thing. I did this ahead of time because this is like the not fun part. Putting all the flowers in is like when it really is like, whoa, transformative. So I saved you all the time on the boring stuff. Okay, we gotta see what I have in here because I need some taller stuff for these big ones. I'm running out of length on some things. The first thing I'm gonna add to this arrangement is some of these amaranths. I'm obsessed with amaranth, so obviously everything I make always has to have amaranth. But I think that, like, I wanted to get these as the lowest. I was kind of hoping maybe they'll soften up a little bit. These ones are pretty firm, but I need a brown drapey one. I want it to look beautiful from all the sides. But I also want it to look symmetrical. What do you think, Ian? We don't want to cover our tomato.
We don't?
What do you think?
Well, I think it looks...
Maybe.
Like, didn't you not want it to hang out the side for trays? So
I do agree with Ian. I didn't like it. You kind of have to like play with the stuff a little bit when you do the arrangements. Instead of you just like slam everything together for the bouquet and then you let everyone play with their own fussing once they get there. But I want these to like come pre-fussed with. Okay. So we got some amaranth in there, bring in some more colors in. And then this obviously has to have sunflowers. This one's all about, the sunflowers and the big punchy stuff. So I want everything kind of contained within, I don't want my flowers to go above what I've already kind of delineated as my, what it is. Okay, and then I also want to make it look good from all the sides is the goal on this one. Because they're like a on the table type thing. So, if I have to, I'll like spin it a little bit to make sure it's coming together.
People are just gonna buy this and then rearrange it?
No, not even. You know nothing, Ian. They're buying this because it's pre-arranged.
Yes, they're buying it because it's pre-arranged, and then they're gonna go home and they're gonna rearrange it.
Well, I don't actually care. I only care about money. I get the fun of putting it together, and then I get the money. So it all works out for me in the end if they take it home and rearrange it. Because then they can get the value that they wanted out of it, and I get the fun of doing the arranging too. Get in there. Okay, there we go. See, it's starting. It's changing now that we're adding the stuff in. Okay, so we put in 5 sunflowers. We still like gotta consider price here because this is only gonna be a $20 thing. So we got 5 sunflowers. Let's say we put in, like 5 of these zinnias. You know, we don't want to go over the top. We're having fun here, but these aren't $40 bouquets. Okay, so now we'll start putting these in, kind of fill in some of this like empty space down here. Make sure it's looking good on all the sides. Oh, I love it. How festive, Ian. It's so festive. Okay, there. Where do I want this one? This one's too good. This one's like the best one. So we'll put this one right there. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's like, I don't know. I feel like it needs one more. I need.
Like up here?
I need something right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a hole there. Something to make sure the attention gets brought to this cluster of cherry tomatoes. Okay, there we go. Done. Completed. Beautiful. Look at that. Looks so good. Looks so festive. So Thanksgiving. Okay, now we have to replicate that for only $10. So that means way less flowers. What do you think? Does that look like $20 and this looks like $10?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like there's a hole. There's a hole that can't be filled with flowers. It can only be filled with amaranth. There. The magic. There. That looks better, huh? Okay, Ian is a super non-believer that Ian thinks that someone's gonna come and they're gonna be like, ugh, kale. You want me to like pay for kale as flowers? But I think they're gonna come and they're gonna be like, kale as flowers? That is, you can't buy that in the store. That's the coolest arrangement I've ever seen. I know you guys would say that. You're all saying that right now. This one is very chic and sophisticated, so we're not gonna put sunflowers in it. Because sunflowers are fun and all, but they're not very sophisticated. And this kale is a very sophisticated flower. So we're gonna make it fancy. Okay, there's only one thing more sophisticated than kale, and that's amaranth. So, as I said, there has to be amaranth in absolutely everything we do. So we're gonna put some of these drapey amaranths. They're gonna look awesome. It's gonna be all drapey on the table. I'm looking for the length of the tassels because, you know, the jar isn't that tall. I don't necessarily, you know, it could lay on the table, right? Like, because that would look cool. Here, let's throw one in there. Right? You know, you have it, jiggle it in. Right? Like, it would look good to have it, and then like you like puddle it up. But we can't put lots in like that, you know. And this one's gonna be more like 360. This is how it would be, right? And then you could like take it and it like lays on the table.
Well, they're fun to play with. I'm sure that if you put those in the bouquet, people would enjoy.
No one's gonna complain.
Some kid at the table will be like,
break it off.
yeah.
And then
that'll be fine.
And then someone will complain.
Because then the kid will end up playing with the flower for 20 minutes and everybody will
be glad
that
the kid was distracted.
Best money we ever spent, someone will say.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna put 2 because we want things to be kind of balanced. I like, look with the foliage in there and a little bit of ones that like stick up. I'm liking this. These make me, but we can't hide those because that's exactly where I was gonna put this. Front and center, focus has to be on these beautiful tomatoes, right? There. Now we're gonna see. Okay, then we're gonna put a couple more. The kale it's like really filling this jar. So it is making it like the stems are quite thick and full. So it is making it a little bit more difficult.
You're running out of space.
I know. But that's fine because most of the stuff that I have going in here is the stems are a lot thinner. Because we're not putting sunflowers and they have thick stems. The zinnias and the cosmos, they have thin stems. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at that. So fun. Next, we're gonna get zinnias. How many do I want? Maybe, I want 4 zinnias in this. So I'm gonna get like 2 that kind of match in coloring, 2 that are more this like yellowy color. There. And then I'm gonna kind of, you know, I'm gonna space them around. Okay, I'm gonna put that one in there. Beautifully framed by all that kale. Put one in there. Put another one. You know, these will kind of be in the center. Okay, there, see, it's come together. Okay, and then to finish this, we're gonna add cosmos. That's gonna be kind of, that's how we're gonna fill these holes. Have like one that's kind of tall up in the middle. What are these doing? Yeah, and then I'm gonna sit these. These are kind of, you know, I got the height with this, and then I have the zinnias down, and then I have so much going on in the bottom. So I'm gonna, this space to me here, this is looking like empty in between. So I'm gonna fill this in with a bunch of these cosmos. And then it's also gonna function to like really change the look, right? Because it's gone from just these like greens and you know, purples, and now I'm adding in this kind of, this white. This is really gonna soften and change what's going on in this bouquet by adding these in. You know, and the texture too, right? These are, the idea of these cosmos is the kale's super stiff, it's super structured, right? It's not like these marigolds that are really frilly. So these cosmos are, by bringing these in, because I think what Ian doesn't actually like about the kale is that it's like, it's too stiff. You know, it has no movement. You know, you kind of shake this and it just like, it's jiggles like jelly. Whereas, you know, you want like, oh, the wind, it blows on your flowers and they sway, right? So this is gonna give that softness to the bouquet that's gonna, you know, bring it back from being this, you know, kind of very avant-garde, you know, and weird thing that I have going on with the kale. It's gonna bring it together. They're gonna balance each other out and make it exceptional, is what I'm telling myself. But you can be the judge. If you also think it looks exceptional, then you gotta give me a thumbs up on this video so I know. The structure that is, it's hard to get these in, but they're also giving structure, right? So they're holding everything upright. You know, if this was just in there in a jar, it'd be like, meh. It wouldn't look as good. So the structure is good. I don't know, that one. Okay, see, look, it's doing the trick. Okay, we got some holes here though. The other side's all finished. We gotta fill these holes, and then it's 100%. 100% worth $20. Probably worth more than $20 because I'm putting 1 million of these in because I hate cosmos. So I don't value them as high as maybe I should. Okay, yeah. Now just fill that spot right there. You know, the other thing too is by filling, you know, the back of the kale leaves, they kind of, you know, I still like the look of it, but you know, filling in all these pieces is changing it. So, you know, the focus isn't that there's like a back of a leaf, it's more the flowers. But there we go. Drapey and beautiful. Oh, we have a problem. I picked up the bouquet and I didn't actually get some of these stems in. They went in too easy. That's good to know. This one was on this side too. I could see the hole. Okay, double check. Okay, they're all in now. Okay, ooh, there we go. I don't know, guys. Someone's getting a deal at $20 on this one. This is like a $30 bouquet. Ian talked me in to putting more stuff than it needed by saying that the kale has no value. And clearly the kale has lots of value because it makes it look so good. Okay, I really like that. That one cannot sell. If it just doesn't need to sell, that one can come and live with us.
Do you need to get tucked back into your blankie?
Oh wait, completed. Look how beautiful they look now. Just a handful of flowers. On the last one, I just put sunflowers in. I just filled it in with a handful of sunflowers. I think I put 6 or 7 small ones in there. Yeah, so, you know, you kind of can see how transformative it is to throw in those few flowers and my process. But the last thing we need to show you is how good these look.